Hey guys, M.V.K here. How's everybody doing out there? Hope everybody is well on their end. Whenever this video goes up, um, I'm hoping a lot of people have seen this, and I'm here to give my overall thoughts on a series, a character, a franchise that is very close to my heart, very close with me, a childhood memory that I hold very dear, and that is none other than the latest installment to the Voltron franchise called Voltron the Legendary Defender. Uh, I totally almost forgot that this show came out, and since I was kind of busy early Friday morning, but once I came in Friday afternoon, I pretty much binge watched all 11 episodes. There are 11 episodes to the season, to the series. It is on Netflix, so another show to watch, Netflix wise. Um, so how did I enjoy this? Did I like this series? That's probably your main question. But let me before I answer that, let me say a little something real quick that I think I need to get off my chest because I think it retains to all us fellow children of the 80s. Um, we grew up in an era that is very precious to us. And I'm speaking not just for myself, but I'm speaking for all children of the 80s. Um, and we hold everything that came out of that era very, very dear and personal to us. We are very protective of that era. I know I am, and I know there are fellow friends of mine who feel that are the same way. So when things out of that era come out of that era, and they get rebooted or refranchised or things like that, we we kind of hold it a little bit more dearly. Stuff like the Turtles. I wish I had my other posters around here, but G.I. Joe, the Transformers, uh, He-Man, Thundercats. I can go on and on with other great series that came out of the 80s, even TV shows, movies. We hold very dearly. And I know I'm not the only one that does. So when I heard they were when Voltron was coming back out, that kind of that in my mind, I was very much like almost got into predator mode, like, "Urgh," like, don't touch my stuff, like, don't touch my childhood again. It felt that way. And seeing the teaser, and then it gave me hope. Okay, this may be good because I didn't watch the one that came on Nickelodeon because I just couldn't take that. I was just like, no, 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 no. It just wasn't working for me. And luckily, it kind of was. It got canceled after low ratings. But yeah, that's a little bit I wanted to get off my chest. Now, in terms of this, first of all, I'm not going to spoil anything in this. For anybody who hasn't seen it, I personally feel that I should not spoil anything. But I will tell you some things in terms of characters and things like that. Not a lot, but some. But the question is, did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. I very much enjoyed what we got. This was, as I put it on Facebook and Twitter, this was a very well respectable remake slash reboot of the classic franchise of Voltron. End of story. No, nobody can discredit that. First of all, the animation felt very homage to the original, very anime-ish, keeping that trend going, which I liked, which I very much enjoyed. The music, oh my God, the music was the score. The music felt very, very much as much of a character as all the characters in the show. That's how good the music was, the score was. Um, it it felt like people like Jack Wall or someone else, that's a composer who composed the music for Mass Effect. That's how good it was. And like I said, the animation, the coloring, very crisp, very clean, uh, flowed very well. And I'm not the biggest fan of mixing 2D animation and CGI, 3D animation together. I'm not the biggest fan, but this worked. I was very impressed. So yes, very much enjoyed it. I sat down and I was glued. Every episode glued. It just brought me back to me being a child. It brought me back. That's how fond I was of this series. It brought me back to being that 6-year-old, 7-year-old boy again, watching the original and loving it. That's how good it was to me. I very much enjoyed it. So to all the people who worked on this, thank you. As a fellow child of the 80s who grew up with the original, thank you. This was perfect. Now, I want to talk about the cast, of course. Who, the cast, the voice actors, and everything like that. That's another thing I want to talk about. The voice acting, perfect, well done, well scripted. Very much enjoyed everybody who performed in this, and I want to talk about it. So, let's get down to the bit. Okay, first of all, let's start with Keith, who pilots the Red Line in this. I'm gonna tell you which lines they pilot, but Keith. Now, if you remember in the original, Keith was the leader, but in this, he's kind of not. So I'm not gonna. But he's voiced by Steven Yeun. You probably know him from The Walking Dead, and he was great. I liked it. It was perfect. He fed off the way he portrayed the character in this, worked well with the others, especially the leader, very much. Then we had Jeremy Shada, who played Lance, and man, when him and Keith got together, it was like hammer time. It was party time with them. It was just funny to watch. Now, if you know that name, you probably remember him. He's pretty much famous for playing Finn the Human on Adventure Time. So it was really good to hear him do something outside of that role. So very much that was cool. Bex Taylor Claus played Pidge, who pilots the Green Line. If you all know that name, you probably recognize her. She was the young woman who played Sin in Arrow. That's who plays Pidge. Now, right there, I'm not going to spoil too much, but there is a twist to Pidge in this series that even as a hardcore fan, an original, I did not mind. I was like, okay, that's not bad. Because even when I was young, I kind of questioned Pidge a little bit in the original one, but it worked. I was very impressed. So yes, Ms. Claus did a good job. Then you had Josh Keaton, of course, Mr. Josh Keaton, famous voice actor. Do I need to go down the list of characters he's played over the years? He played Shiro, and I was shocked that they brought Shiro into this series, and he's the one that pilots the Black Line. I was very shocked at that, but I was shocked, but still impressed that they went there. And then of course you had Tyler Lambin, who played Hunk, and once again he's more of the comedian role. I know if you've seen his face, you'll probably know what he looks like. But he was really good as Hunk. He played Hunk a lot differently than we've seen Hunk in the original series, but I enjoyed it. More of the comedic side, but still very much enjoyable. And then of course we had Kimberly Brooks playing Princess Allura. Now, once again, you probably heard that name before, Kimberly Brooks. She is the woman who voiced, to all my fellow Mass Effect fans out there, who voiced Ashley Williams throughout the entire first 3 games. So yes, Princess Allura is voiced by an African American. Yes. For all those who don't know, Miss Brooks is black. She's not. She's not white. She spoke with like a British accent, so it was really cool. I was like, that's talented right there. And I liked what they did with Princess Allura. You know, she wasn't. She was. She stayed kind of homage to the original, but then they took it also in a different direction, what I liked. And we had Koran in there. He was kind of also played off kind of the comic relief, and Ray's Darby played him. And then we had I'm just gonna get to some of the other people like the villains. Basically, we had Neil Kaplan playing Emperor Zarkon. So Zarkon was in here, and Zarkon was badass in this. I was good stuff. And of course, yeah, the witch Hagar, the one who creates all the Robo Beasts and everything like that, is played by Cree Summers. So yeah, those are some of the voice actors that were in the series, and they did such a really good job what they were given and portrayed. What made this really feel really good was they went more deeper into each character. Each character felt like they had a presence. Each character, which also I liked, had a sense of, okay, why should we care about these? Why should we care about each and every one of these? Why should we care about the pilots? And what I will spoil is they didn't call them pilots in this. They called them paladins, which I thought was really cool. The lions had kind of like a symbiotic feel to the pilots, like they almost had to accept the pilot as them becoming one with each other. I was really impressed of what they did with this Voltron series. It just, I looked at every episode and I'm just like, wow. It flowed very well. It didn't slow down when there were times when there was comedy was needed. The comedy was very well done. The action was very well done. The drama, especially with Pidge and Shiro's characters, the drama really felt very well done. You don't know how proud I was of this series, guys. I was very proud of this series because of, you know, when you take stuff from an era that you grew up in, you want to make sure it's done right and done with respect and honor. And this was done with so much respect. So much, you could tell that the people behind this really wanted to pay homage to the classic, but also have the respect for us who are the fans and love it. So there were a lot of things in this that really worked so well. Like I said, the plot really focused around Voltron, of course, and the plot of why does Zarkon want Voltron, which really was like, whoa, that was good. And I'm not going to spoil that. I will not spoil anything for you guys. This is a spoiler-free thought video, guys. But it was good. It was very, very good and very entertaining. I loved it. I don't really need to go on too much, but I will do something else that I wanted to say as well. Here's some fans that, okay, here are the things you won't see. This is something that I will spoil. When Voltron is forming, which I loved, I thought it was great how they actually showcased Voltron forming. I wish they had the team, you know, saying form legs, form arm and body. They didn't do that, guys. I'm sorry, old school fans like myself, we don't get that. I really wish they had did that. That would have been so cool. What else can I tell you? What you won't see in this for old school fans who remember, you won't see Lotor, Zarkon's son, who had a big affection for Princess Allura. You won't see him in this. You won't see Nanny, who was Princess Allura's like nanny who's very overprotective of the princess. You won't see her. You won't see Sven in there either. So there are some things you won't see, especially I'm talking about my fellow old school fans who remembers the original. You won't see those. But what you're gonna get, and if you haven't watched it yet, what you're gonna get is, once again, and I'm gonna end it with this, ladies and gentlemen, you're gonna get a well respected reboot slash remake. Perfect. That's what you're gonna get. And I'm not gonna spoil anything for you guys. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the 11 episodes they got on Netflix. To do yourselves a favor, guys, to all my fellow Voltron fans out there, watch it, enjoy it, respect it, and show the love and respect to the people behind it, because they did such a good job with this. But other than that, guys, this is Mount Vernon Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys. As always, the Omnigeek Highlord of New York wishes you adieu. I will see you guys next time. Take care.